Dear students, in this video we are going to discuss about what is population, sample, census survey, sample survey and sampling methods. All the items under consideration in any field of inquiry constitute a universe or population. If the researcher he wants to study about the customer satisfaction towards Activa 5G in Coimbatore city. At present, there are 10,000 number of customers. If they are having the Activa 5G, then we can say the size of the population is 10,500. In another study, if the researcher he wants to study about the job satisfaction of the employees in Sharp Industries Coimbatore, for example, if we take there are 500 number of employees if they are working in Sharp Industries, then we can say the size of the population is 500. A sample is a small representation of a larger unit. In some research, it is always very difficult to collect the data from all the respondents in the population. Then the researcher, he will take the part of the population and he will carry out the research. That part of the population only that is called as sample. If the researcher he wants to collect the information from all the items from the population, then we can call it as a census survey. In our example, if the researcher he wants to collect the information from all the 10,000 number of customers and all the 500 number of employees, then we can say there is a census survey. Even in some research, it is always carry out that the researcher he will select the samples from the population, then he will carry out the research, then it is called as the sample survey. There are many methods used by the researcher to select the samples from the population. Those methods are collectively called as sample design or sampling methods. For example, there are 7,500 number of students studying in Dr. NGP Arts and Science College. Then we can say the size of the population is 7,500. It is always very difficult to collect the information from all the 7,500 number of students. That's why the researcher he can select 500 number of students from the 7,500. Then the 500 is called as the sample. How to select the 500 number of students from the 7,500? There are various methods used by the researcher to select the 500 from out of 7,500. Now we are going to discuss about the various methods used by the researcher to select the samples from the population. We can classify the sampling methods into two. One that is called as the probability sampling and another that is called as the non-probability sampling. Probability sampling. Every item of the universe has an equal chance of inclusion in the sample. But in the non-probability sampling, the items in the population that do not have equal chance of being included in the sample. Probability sampling methods. The first one is simple random sampling. All the items in the universe having the equal chance of being included in the sample. There are two methods are there. One is lottery method and another is a random numbers table method. In the lottery method, the researcher he will assign a number for each and every items in the population. For example, 500 number of employees in Sharp Industries. All the 500 number of employees, a number that will be assigned by the researcher. That is going to be written in a small bit of paper and that is going to be kept in a small bowl and that will be shuffled. Out of this 500 number of employees, if the researcher he wants only 100 as a sample, then 100 number of chips that will be taken from the bowl. And what are all the numbers that comes under that 100? Only from those numbers, the respective names only, the data will be collected from those respondents only. Another method is called as the random number table method. In that method, as usual, the number that will be assigned to all the respondents in the population. Here the researcher is going to select few rows or few columns from the random number table. What are all the numbers that is selected in that by the researcher? From those people only the data that will be collected. The next is a systematic sampling. So in order to find out the sample interval, there is a formula used by the researcher: size of the population divided by the size of sample size. So for example, there are 500 number of employees who are working in the SARP industries. Out of 500, the researcher, if he wants to select 100 number of samples, then 500 divided by 100, that is equal to 5. So every fifth item that will be selected from the list of items. So that is a systematic sampling. Next one is a stratified sampling. Strata means group. Here the whole population or universe that is going to be divided by the way of using any one of the characteristics. So it may be classified based upon the age of the respondents, or based upon the gender of the respondents, or based upon the occupation of the respondents. So by the way of using any one of the characteristics, the entire population that is going to be divided into some number of groups. There are two methods are there in the stratified sampling. One is proportionate and another is disproportionate. In proportionate stratified sampling, number of items from each stratum is proportionate to their numbers in the universe. For example, there are 2500 number of items in the population. So that is going to be classified into 4 groups based upon some characteristics. The first group that consists of 250 number of items, second group that consists of 1250 number of items, third group that consists of 825 number of items, and fourth group that consists of 175 number of items. So depends upon the representation in the universe, the number of items that will be selected for the sample. For example, from the following formulas, you can get a lot of information how to select the samples from the each and every group. Suppose take it as the largest group, 1250 divided by the 2500, that is a population size, that is going to be converted in the form of a percentage, that is 50%. So this 50% that is going to be applied in the size of the sample, that is 250 into 50%, then we can get 125. That means 125 number of items that will be selected from the second group for the constitution of the population. In the same way, as, by the way of applying this formula, from each and every group, the items will be selected from for the sample. Next one is disproportionate stratified sampling. So here what, in the same way, the population that is going to be divided based upon some characteristics. So here we are having 4 groups, but compared to the previous one, here any number of items that can be selected from each number of each number. In the previous one, based upon the proportionate the items that will be selected from each and every group for in order to constitute a sample, but here any number of items that can be selected from each group. The next method is cluster sampling. So here also what the universe is going to be classified into some number of groups based upon some characteristics. The difference between this method and the previous method, in the previous method, from each and every group some number of items that should be selected by the researcher in order to constitute a sample. But as far as this cluster sampling is concerned, within one group itself, the researcher he can select the required number of samples. Suppose in our example, in the second group 1250, out of 1250, the required 250 number of items that will be selected only from the second group. No items that will be selected from the first group, third group, and fourth group. Next one is area sampling. Here the total area that is going to be divided into some number of small groups. Then a number of smaller areas are randomly selected and all units in these small areas are included in the sample. In our example, the total area that is going to be divided in the form of small areas like A, B, C, D, E, F. By the way of using the random sampling, the researcher, for example, he can select the areas A, F, C. Then each and every items in the A, F, C that will be considered for the samples. The data only that will be collected from the items that is belongs to the area A, F and C only. The next one is multi-stage sampling. So this sampling method that is applicable for big inquiries. If the researcher he wants to conduct the research throughout the nation, then he can go for the multi-stage sampling. Here the nation that is going to be divided into states, and from that what only few states that will be selected, and from those states that is going to be classified into districts, and only few districts that is going to be selected, and from those districts only few towns that will be selected for research. Then from those towns only few families that will be selected. So each and every stage researcher he can apply the random sampling. Then what it will be called as a multi-stage random sampling method. The next, non-probability sampling. Here all the items in the universe that do not have the equal chance of being included in the sample. The first one is a convenient sampling. Here the researcher he will select the sample according to the convenience of the researcher. For example, in the previous study, if the researcher he wants to collect the data from only 500 number of customers out of 10,000 number of customers who are having the Activa 5G. The researcher, instead of collecting the data from all the samples, the researcher what he can do, he can select the samples only near to his particular area. So there is no need for the researcher to go to the various parts of Coimbatore to collect the required information. The researcher what he can do, so suppose if the researcher is belongs to the Kalapatti area, he can select the samples from only Kalapatti area and nearby Saravanambatti area, Siniyambalayam area and Nilambur area. So instead of going to some other parts of the Coimbatore, the researcher according to his convenience he can select the samples from the population. So next one is judgment sampling or purposive sampling. So in this method the researcher he can decide himself who are all the people they can be included in the sample and who are all the people they will be rejected from the consideration of the sample. So here according to the judgment of the researcher, the samples that will be selected, and from those respondents only the information that will be collected by the researcher. The next one is quota sampling. So here also what the entire population that is going to be divided on the basis of some characteristics. Here the researcher he will select the samples from each and every group based upon the fixed quota. In our example, take it as for example, the students are classified into 4 groups like what college, higher secondary students, high school students and elementary school students. So the quota is that is fixed by the researcher. So only 20% of the students only they will be selected from the college category, and 40% from the higher secondary category, and 30% from high school category, and only 10% from elementary schools category to constitute a sample. Sequential sampling. So this is somewhat differ from the sampling method what we have discussed so far. In all the previous method what we have discussed, the size of the sample that is fixed by the researcher in advance. But in this method the size of the sample is not fixed by the researcher in advance. First he will consider only a small sample and he will collect the information from the small sample, and he will try to draw inferences from those sample. Suppose he is able to reach the conclusion, then he will close the research. Suppose he is not able to reach the required information, required conclusion. Then the researcher, he will extend the study by the way of adding more samples. So this will be continued, and up to the researcher he is able to draw the inferences. The last method is snowball sampling. So in this method, it is researcher use this sampling method whenever he finds difficulty to find out the respondents. Suppose in our example, if the researcher he wants to collect the information from the drug users, it is always to find out the drug users from the population. Then what? Suppose he is a researcher is able to find out one drug user. From that, he is able to find out the other drug users. In our example, for example, first the researcher is able to find out the drug user, the respondent A. From that respondents, he is able to get the references, and he will refer B and C. In turn, B he will refer D. C is going to refer D, E, and F. So in that way, what the researcher is able to reach the required number of respondents, and he is able to collect the information from those respondents. In a nutshell, in this video, you learned about what is population and sample, what is census survey and sample survey, and also we discussed about various sampling methods. Thank you.